Imagine you're in church and everyone there, hundreds of people, and they've already got your monies because you already paid admission because you get there and they're like, here's the basket, right? You're locked in. You've already paid for this.
It's actually quite daunting. Do we have any visitors here? And you raise your hand. Hey, what up? Thinking
no,
like, oh,
your mom looked over at me.
You didn't raise your hand?
Are you kidding me?
Did you know what was coming?
Why would I raise my?
Because they've asked a question that pertains to you.
Yeah, okay. When you go to like an assembly or something, how's everyone doing? And do you go like, woo?
No, that's a rhetorical question. That is there anyone here who is visiting for the first time? That is a specific personal question that is meant to be answered.
I'm not answering that.
Okay.
Ever again. And I don't think I answered it then. I think your mom maybe just like, oh, we got another mark right here.
Oh my God. But everybody turns to you, so like stands up, surrounds you. We all try to get in a circle around you to encircle you with love.
Love bombing, which is, I'm not even kidding you, like cult behavior.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome to Playing House, the podcast about keeping your relationship sexy and secure. I am the incredibly overwhelming Kolter Bouchard.
And praise the Lord, I'm Sister Dominique Bouchard.
Sister Dominique Bouchard.
We are a real couple having real conversations. Inviting you in as our third.
So I don't get it. Like you're like really Jesus-y, but then also like kind of sexy.
You don't get it?
Is that what? Like,
is this new? I don't love Jesus. I'm not sexy. The two can coexist.
On today's episode, dating outside of your religion. I gotta preview these before the episodes. How did a good Sunday school teaching, Holy Ghost filled, call me the Holy Ghost now, promising Christian girl end up with someone like me? And am I doomed?
That's the question.
But first, let's check in. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's almost the official start of summer.
Yeah.
How you doing?
That's fun. It's Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. More like Father's Slay, am I right?
Period.
Yeah. We've wokeified, sorry conservatives, we've wokeified Father's Day. We've wokeified it. So much woke. Speaking of which, a shout out to another father. A guy who really hates woke, who might be going to prison soon.
Shout out to Justice
that
Justifying
orange bitch.
Whoa.
May he rot in prison. They found him guilty. He did some crimes. And this is in addition to like the rape and a bunch of other things.
Okay.
And some civil cases as well that he lost. And he's probably going to lose a few more and hopefully loses a goddamn election.
I'll be honest, I don't believe in the justice system because it's not often that it actually achieves that.
This time, though.
Every so often.
They get it right. And the jury, I know we're a couple of weeks late on this. I just wanted to like let it marinate a little bit. It took them 2 days. 2 days to come up with a verdict.
That's what we know. Because who takes 2 days for a group to agree upon anything?
Dinner, a movie. And here's the thing. So they took they did a questionnaire for all the jurors at the beginning.
Yeah.
One of the jurors got all of their information, all of their news from one source, Truth Social, which is Donald Trump's social media platform. And even that person was like, this guy's guilty as hell.
Well, I want to hear from Kyle on this. You got your mic over there?
Yeah, hello, viewers.
That's Kyle's juror number 6.
I'm just telling you guys now, actually.
He's about to release a book, make some money on this.
No, what because this is such a great topic, I have to let the viewers in on some behind the scenes.
Behind the tea,
behind the tea is great.
Okay, we're doing that. When we were out on a shoot when this news broke, and we're in the middle of like all this crazy events and stuff. And Peter and I are like working away, and here comes Kolter, literally almost like mad rushing at us, being like, "No way!" And then like it was
Kyle, you told me.
Was it? Oh,
I got a call from Dominique, and I assumed you were, in retrospect, you were calling me because of this. Kyle, you were like, "Yeah, they just convicted him."
Here I am.
You
I'm
got a
telling
text from
total
somebody.
Lie. Just believe me, guys. No, yeah, but what I was trying to say is like Kolter,
Fake
you
news.
were just shook.
Fake news.
The rest of the night, we're like working. You're just totally shook. You're just doing your Donald Trump impressions, and I just remember like,
which is a good. It's a 9 out of 10 Trump impression. If we can all agree on that. 8.5.
Generous 8.5.
Lock her up, folks. Lock her up. What a tremendous, people are saying, people come to me, tears in their eyes.
People are saying.
And they say, sir, I hope your orange bitch ass winds up in prison. And it might. It probably won't. But it might.
Let's be honest.
Let's hold on to that thought for a moment, though.
But I remember back when he was tweeting. Is he back on Twitter, by the way, or X?
Yeah, he's got his own thing, the Truth Social.
Right. So
where
I remember
the truth goes.
Back in Twitter days, who was not convicted, but somebody got
charged.
Not even charged yet. Like they got like a strike against them basically, and he's like, "How disgraceful." And then he ended up with a couple of those.
Yeah.
And now here he is.
Impeached.
It's just impeached is what I'm looking for. Thank you. I knew there was a P in there. It's just justice every so often.
He's all about the P, apparently.
What's that mean?
Like golden showers and stuff. Apparently and allegedly. Fake news. But that's truly, like Kyle said, we were at the end of a very long shoot.
Right.
It was like hour 10 of 12. And we got that. And I just had Kyle, didn't I have more pep in my step after that?
Yeah, it was literally like the Holy Ghost entered you and you just had so much energy again. You were just ready to go.
Good to go.
Praise God.
I was lugging C-stands on my own.
While
just
doing
kidding.
Donald Trump impression.
Truly though. It was great. So that was just like, it really, and then I had a couple of rough days afterwards, unrelated, but then I would think of that and I was like, oh,
there's hope.
I'm doing okay.
There's hope.
Yeah, we're good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah, I love that for me too.
I love
Thank
that
you.
for us.
Yeah.
Please vote. I'm not doing that. Please vote, y'all. Please register. Please just get ready. Please arm yourself with knowledge and just vote.
Yeah. God, it's going to be a rough November.
Shall we get into it?
Yes, please. I beg of you.
Okay. We're talking about dating outside of your religion.
Which we're both doing.
Well, we're married outside of our religions.
That's great.
We'll start off with talking about some of our similarities and our differences. And I'll start here. We got a comment on a previous video where someone said, what's it like to be unequally yoked? And I'll give a little bit of background there.
Not like the egg.
Not like which honestly, most of my childhood, I thought that's what that meant.
Unequally yoked.
What are you talking about? Eggs?
You're like, mom likes egg whites, dad, he wants the yolk.
Scrambled.
Yeah.
Exactly. But no, so it just means like being with someone who does not match your spiritual maturity, spiritual beliefs.
Maturity.
Well, I'm saying it from the
Damn.
I'm saying it from the perspective of the church, the Bible.
La Bible.
La Bible.
The bibliothèque.
So somebody comments, yeah, what is it like to be married to be unequally yoked? And they said it seems like he's making fun of your spiritual beliefs. And so I thought, let's make a whole episode out of that, because personally, I grew up, as we know, in the church, raised to believe like you're gonna grow up, meet another Christian man who's also very involved in the church. Honestly, my goal was to like marry a minister or be like the pastor's wife one day.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I married Kolter Bouchard.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
So that's a bit of my background. That was my goal. And I went to like layperson's Bible college. When I started university, my first year, I was in university, but also part-time in Bible school.
Yeah, which you paid for.
Which I paid for.
What a scam, by the way.
To pay for school?
To pay for Bible school? The Bible's free. It's infamously free.
Okay, but no.
Yeah, you go to hotel rooms. That's where you just
That's not the Bible, is it? It's like the 7-day Adventist book or something. It's not usually the Bible, is it?
It's the Bible, bro.
But that's not free, Cole. You don't just put that in your luggage.
Yeah. It's there. It's like,
are you putting Bibles in your luggage?
Not me, but listen, it's like you go to a hotel. What, you're telling me you of all people don't leave without taking a couple little bars of soap?
Well, I paid for that. I didn't pay for the Bible.
You pay for everything in the room that isn't nailed down. And some of the stuff, I guess Jesus was. And
Jesus was what?
Nailed down. And you can take,
Whoa.
He's in the Bible. He wrote the goddamn thing. And you can take it. You can take it home with you. It's like the Gideons. Can you look that up, Kyle? I think it's the Gideons. I don't even know what they are. That leave the Bibles in the hotels. They like donate them or something.
She's just like, look it up, Kyle. Gives no context. Kyle looking at Google like what?
So I'm going to Google.
Also, Trump's selling a Bible.
His own Bible?
Yeah, it's a Bible with the Constitution in it. People are like,
What kind of Bible is that?
One that's $50 apparently.
A $50 Bible.
Yeah, the guy's also selling like the fattest, most out of shape guy on the planet is also
we're not
selling
gonna- we're not
selling
body
running shoes. What?
But that's all he wears, right?
No, he wears lifts and dress shoes.
Oh my. This can't be a Trump episode. I'm so sorry. It
They're
just
all
can't
Trump
be.
episodes.
Let's hear it, Kyle.
Coulter, you were right.
Nice.
It's Gideon's International that donates the Bibles.
Well, shout
and
out
they've
to them.
donated over 2 billion Bibles and New Testaments.
Donate.
To 200 countries.
Billion.
That means you can take it. It's free.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
yeah.
they probably want you to keep it and study it. Yeah. Yeah.
Become a Gideon.
Oh, is that a religion? Is that a sect? I don't
Giddy
know.
up.
But yes, I went to layperson's Bible college because I was studying to become a minister one day. So I'll give it even a little bit more context going
Please.
further back. When I was really young, I was probably like 12 years old. And a minister came and visited our church. And he called me up front and he laid hands on my forehead. And he's like, I see travel in your future. I see you going around the world and spreading the word of Jesus. You're going to become a missionary.
And how did you feel? Were you like, that's a lot of pressure? Were you like, okay,
I was like, period.
get my passport ready?
Like I had a notebook where I always write like sermons in, and sometimes like we had something called children's church where I'd like deliver the sermons. Like to me, that was my purpose. I was meant to go around preaching and ministering. I was like, I'm going to be a missionary. Cool. That's my path. And I was pursued layperson's Bible college for like a year. And I think it was supposed to be like 4 years.
Okay.
So that was the background there. I see Kyle is typing. Oh, you found the Bible verse. Okay, can you read it out for us, please?
In a Jesus voice, like in a
Yeah, give your best like
I'm gonna
priest.
give
I don't
my
know.
best church preacher.
Period.
Okay. It is from. Forgive me.
more monotone.
All right. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness?
More energy,
And what communion hath light with darkness?
more passion.
Do not be bound together with unbelievers. For what partnership has righteousness and lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness?
What's
Oof, light with darkness.
what book is that from? Phalations, my favorite
You
book
and
of the
this?
Bible. What book of the Bible is that
It
from?
definitely is from Phalations.
Phalations.
From
6:9.
Corinthians 6:14 in the King James version.
Hold
King
on.
James version.
OG Corinthians or the sequel?
2 Corinthians? It's
Second
Seconds.
Corinthians.
Yes.
Wow.
So for those just tuning in, you can't. We both grew up in Catholic school.
Yeah.
Okay, give it a little bit of background in your spiritual journey.
My family, like, we never went to church. My grandparents, super churchy.
Yeah.
We'd go to Catholic church whenever they were down or whenever they had us. But, like, my family, they sent us to Catholic school because it was closer. And, like, in Ontario, the government, we've talked about this before, the government funds Catholic school. Why?
I don't think that's why your parents sent you. Like they seemed kind of disappointed when they heard that we weren't sending Nia, our daughter, to Catholic school.
Yeah?
Yeah, they intentionally sent you there.
Sure. But, like, I was never talking to my parents about, like, hey, how does Jesus work? And they're like, he doesn't. Nobody wants to work anymore. Right? Just hanging out all day. But
Yeah.
we're going to lose so many subscribers.
I can see the count going
Listen,
down.
I'm happy. Listen, I'm happy you have this. I'm so happy you have this.
Well, no, I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
But we
We both went to Catholic school.
both went to Catholic school. Okay, like talk about your beliefs or non-black there. I don't know. Talk about your experience, bro.
I've talked about this on the show before. A priest came because we'd have like you go to like church, like they'd bring you to church quarterly, like they'd
Yeah.
pack you on the bus or whatever.
Quarterly.
But then a priest would come to school sometimes, and he was like, the child is responsible, the son is responsible for the sins of the father, and I'm like, respectfully, that sounds like BS.
So was that the turning point for you? Was it like as a kid you believed it all? You were in Catholic school. You were going to like the different
Sure.
mass.
I prayed to Jesus every time I whacked off, and that's not a joke.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where I was just like, oh my, especially on Sunday, like Easter Sunday, I did it, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to hell. But it feels so good. And it did, and it still does.
But was that the turning point for you?
Yeah. That's where I was like, oh man.
God's not real.
I don't necessarily know if at that point I thought God's not real, but I'm like, something's a little fishy here.
Okay.
Something's
All
a
right.
little fishy. That doesn't, what? First off, my dad's a good guy. And second off, even if he wasn't, he did those things, apparently
Yeah,
and allegedly,
yeah.
not me.
Yeah. So where do you stand today?
I don't believe in God or Jesus,
Okay.
but I'm happy that people do,
Okay.
right? And I don't, like I have like a moral compass. Like I think I've got a pretty good idea of what's good and what's not. And I don't need the Bible to tell me what to do. And many people do. And if that keeps you from committing crimes, specifically 34 of them related to the 2016 election, then good for you. But
How does it keep coming back to this?
he might go to prison, and that would be
I
amazing.
don't want to make this
He
Trump
might.
episode.
Again, I'm happy you have it, and I
Sure,
support
nobody
you.
Well, I don't doubt that.
And
Yeah.
I listen. To each his own, to each her own, to each
Yeah.
their own.
Yeah.
And if you have it, great. And if you don't, okay.
So when we met in first year of university for me and my first and only year of layperson's Bible college, we were both studying broadcast. I was making a radio show for school about like,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this.
God,
Loser.
it was, well, we all had to do the projects, but my radio show was about like bringing Jesus to the city, and it was basically preaching on air was my show.
Sex in the City, but Jesus. Down. Jesus, in my opinion, I want to say a Charlotte, right?
Oh
my goodness. Oh.
Miranda.
You know, now that you say it, yeah, Miranda.
Yeah.
Miranda?
Kind of jaded, like has seen some stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, not with it.
And then,
And then what?
and then
What?
this is going to be prepare yourself. This is going to be a reference that exactly 9 people get,
Oh,
including
Lord.
the 2 of us.
Okay.
And then let his friend Carrie piss herself when he was fooling around in the kitchen.
And just like that.
And just like that,
Anyways. So like that's what I was up to in first year. And when I met you, we were friends in my opinion, we were friends.
nah,
first.
we were buds.
Okay,
we
thank
were
you, 'cause
chums.
You keep telling me we were not friends.
A pal.
Anyways, and like met your family, you introduced me to your parents
After we started dating.
after we started dating, and your mom verbatim said, "What are you doing with him? He's literally the devil."
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, if his own mother thinks this man is demonic."
I would say like devilish. Really good. At sex.
So yeah, we did have like there were moments where like I would invite you to church. I'd invite you to
and
like,
I
you went.
And I went.
Absolutely.
And
yeah,
here's the thing about church. Some churches, hashtag not all churches.
sure.
Catholic churches are definitely not doing this. But what was the
What?
kind you went to? Pentecostal or something?
Okay, yeah.
Who
yeah.
even knows? I guess Pentecostalians or whatever.
Just get to the story, sir.
Dude, they sing a welcome song.
We don't care what church you belong to.
So if you hate going to a restaurant and they're like, "Oh, we need some birthday singers." Imagine you're in church and everyone there, there's hundreds of people. And they've already got your monies because you already paid admission, because you get there and they're like, "Here's the basket," right? You're locked in. You've already paid for this.
It's actually it's quite daunting. I was used to it because I've been visiting churches since I was a child, right? And a member of churches where I
Not
was
me.
singing. But like, so the whole church. So first of all, they say, "Do we have any visitors here?" And you raise your hand. Hey, what up? Thinking
no,
you're like, "Oh,
your mom looked over at me.
you didn't raise your hand?
Are you kidding me?
Did you know what was coming?"
Why would I raise my? Why would
Because
I?
they've asked a question that pertains to you.
Yeah, okay. When you go to like an assembly or something, like
Yeah.
as an adult, not like as a child or whatever, and they're like, "How's everyone doing?" And do you go like, "Woo"?
No, that's a
No, you don't.
rhetorical question. That is there anyone here who is visiting for the first time? That is a specific personal question that is meant to be answered.
I'm not answering that.
Okay.
Ever again. And I don't think
ever
I
again.
don't think I answered it then. I think your mom maybe just like, "Oh, we got another mark right here."
Oh my God. But everybody turns to you, so like stands up, surrounds you. We all try to get in a circle around you to encircle you with love.
Love bombing. which is, I'm not even kidding you, like cult behavior.
Oh my goodness. And then we sing our welcome song, which is like, we don't care what church you belong to as long as it's for Jesus that you stand. Which, looking back, like,
What if you got a different, what if your Jesus is something
what if
else?
it's not Jesus? You should be welcome regardless. Come hear the word, see if you like it or not. Yeah, it's a big song, and then they hand you, your welcome gift.
Yeah.
I don't know what's inside.
Paperwork.
Good.
Yeah, to get all your info. And then they want your number so that they can call you for prayer requests.
Well, that's lovely. They just want to pray with you and help you and support you.
Which I'm sure comes with a price tag. Is it a sliding scale?
It's 10%. Tithing is 10% of your income.
Couldn't be me.
Anyways.
That's what tax. Just pay more tax. What? And here's the thing: 10% of your salary is a tithe. These mega church guys don't pay anything. Joel Osteen and the TDJ
The pastor's supposed to tithe.
guy. Yeah,
No, they're supposed to.
just pay. Get rid of that. Just pay tax.
Okay. So we have some differences in terms of our spiritual beliefs.
But I think we have similar values.
But we definitely have. Okay, so speak to that, please.
Listen, we're both returning our shopping carts afterwards.
Always.
Always.
Every single time.
We both apologize to our child when we make a mistake.
Absolutely.
We both. I guess that's the end of it.
Okay. I'll say this.
We're both kind people.
Absolutely. On a values level, yes, we value the same things. We have the same core values at the end of the day. I've had my faith shaken and rocked a few times in life, especially when you were diagnosed and you were going through treatment and the treatments weren't working. And I think the deepest time for me was when I was talking to my mom, and my aunt at the time, her sister, was in the hospital too. I think she was in a coma at the time.
Jeez.
Yes.
Did I know this?
Elise.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so all this was happening, and it's a pandemic, and like my mom's not able to see
got a
me.
baby.
All this is happening, and I remember talking to my mom about it and saying the treatment still isn't working. He just called me. I don't know what's happening, Mom, and she wanted to pray with me on the phone, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want that right now. And she's paused, and then I could hear her like sobbing, like softly sobbing, and she's like, God, where are you? And I'd never seen my mom's faith be shaken before.
Damn.
And so that's when I was like, oh, so there isn't hope at all then.
So was she more upset that like you didn't believe in God or that I was dying from cancer? Because if it's anything approaching like, it's a 50-50, I'm like, what? That's awful.
No, to her it was like, how was all this happening? How are we, doing what we're supposed to as Christian with like faithful, God-fearing Christians, and still all this horror is possible.
Now,
and at the end, go ahead.
to be fair,
Yeah.
the one who got cancer is the one
Okay.
who does not believe in God. So perhaps God is present, and God, take note, takes notes.
note?
God took one note, and it was to punish me.
But I don't believe that. And a lot of people told me during that time, everything happens for a reason. No, I don't believe
What?
that God is like the author of destruction and chaos. I don't believe that.
Let me tell you the saddest thing that I've ever seen in my life.
I don't want to hear this.
Cover your ears, son. You really don't want to hear it?
I really don't want to hear it.
Okay. Cover your ears.
No,
then.
you said it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You said it. All.
Okay, so I'm going to Princess Margaret Cancer Center,
Oh, God.
which is the place that got rid of my cancer. So like,
Shout out to them.
shout out Princess Margaret. Bop, bop, bop. I'm there, and there's a kid in the waiting room. A kid. Oh, it gets worse. And the kid's blind, and the kid has cancer. What? Yeah, bit of a rough one. Bit of a somber mood in this room, hey? Anyway,
How do you transition from that?
I don't know how you transition from that.
I don't believe that, like, and we've heard people say this. So, like, God sets things up. God teaches you lessons. God you've had your own
tests
experience.
his strongest soldiers.
Exactly. I
I'm
don't believe
weak.
any of that. I don't believe any. I believe that God protects, and God is love, and the stuff that happens to you is the opposite of God. Is evil. Is bad things coming to destroy you. And so again, we're on very much on the same level in terms of values and How we find faith, very different. And there are moments like I remember when you were sick and I would turn over and I'd be praying over you like in the middle of the night. And you'd be like, I get it, you're praying. I don't believe in it, but thank you.
Yeah.
You're just respecting each other.
100%. Listen, one of my boys, I don't want to like shout him out for this because like maybe this is a private conversation.
Sure.
He's like, do you mind if I pray for you at church? And I was like, sure, dude.
Yeah.
I'll take like money too.
Okay.
You want to like drop off some Taco Bell, drop off some T-Bell. I appreciate that. But
Yeah.
listen, good for you and good for everybody who has Jesus and who does not weaponize Jesus.
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
important.
weaponizers out there, a lot of
There's
grifters.
A lot. Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people who are like, oh, you can't do gay because the Bible. And you're
Yeah,
like,
no.
12 dudes, you're rolling 12 dudes deep
You also
in the
can't
desert.
You can't do shrimp because of the Bible.
You can't do shrimp.
You can't like eat shrimp
Yeah.
because of the Bible. You're not supposed to like do anything on a Sunday, especially like party or like pick up your kid. If
Mix
your
fabrics.
ass falls in a hole, you're not supposed to pick it up on a Sunday.
Doesn't your ass already have a hole in it?
Ass is a donkey.
Oh, okay.
Well, so I suppose
You're just going to let it like suffer?
If it's Sunday, yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's the Bible.
We just also, what are you so donkey rich? You're just letting them wander? I'd have an air tag on that thing, number one. An air tag. And then do you get a notification if like, yeah, if it's like it's no
If it
longer
falls?
around you.
Oh.
You're like, here's what I
A
would
life
do.
alert for donkeys.
I'm putting an air tag on the donkey. I'm putting a second air tag in the hole so that I know if they get too
they're
close.
connected.
I'm like, oh God, they're right next to each other. Move the hole. Donkey's got a mind of its own.
My God.
Tried telling the donkey to do something 1,000,000 times. Just wants that hole. Who doesn't?
So when we talk about raising our child,
Here's the thing. Don't want to indoctrinate her.
sure.
Like she wants to give it a shot. Let her give it a shot. She goes to church with your mom sometimes.
Well, she used to. She hasn't really in like almost a year at this point.
Yeah.
She enjoys it. But when I went to visit my mom's church, which used to be my church as a kid, or as a teenager more so, I sent Nia downstairs because they have Sunday school in the basement. Cool. When I went down there to check on her, they had her standing in the front of the altar. They're forcing her to raise her hands, telling her to scream Jesus. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to take my kid back upstairs because that's the sort of stuff that I was forced into.
Yeah.
And I don't want my child to feel like she has no autonomy, no choice when it comes to how she does or does not accept Christ.
Yeah. And maybe she's like, nah, I'm good.
And maybe she is.
And maybe she's like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely. And so things like we've had conversations where her fish died.
Oh, yes.
And so she was asking, what happened? Where is he now?
And I thought, but didn't say, but maybe said to you after she went to bed, probably like the water treatment facility because we flushed it down the toilet.
And so I said, well, in this house, we believe in heaven. And we believe that when you're no longer alive, you get to go to heaven with God.
You said that?
I said, you were right in front of me when I said that, yes.
I probably still have the teeth marks in my tongue then.
But I specifically said in this house so that she doesn't think it's an objective truth, or that if she has a friend when she starts school that has a different belief, that it's not something that she is unable to challenge or question.
Yeah.
Because largely when you are raised in the church, everything is taught to you as an objective truth. And it becomes really difficult. Like just like Catholic school, we learned, the Trinity and Hail Mary and all these great things, pray the rosary. And then in grade 12, they introduced world religions. And suddenly I learned all these other truths.
You're like, oh, where you been hiding these ones?
No, but that's exactly how I felt. And it was really challenging for me. No, I was like overwhelmed. I
Where
started
were those
crying.
the whole time, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, you got the good snacks at the back of the pantry, eh?
It was daunting for me. Like, do you remember what that was like? Well, I guess you questioned it by then.
Yeah, they take you to like a temple of some
temple,
sort.
a mosque, a synagogue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did a bunch of them.
It was beautiful, but to me it was like, am I allowed to be here? Am I allowed to like question God? Am I allowed to have I felt guilty for even questioning and opening myself up to any other truth.
I liked that field trip day because I grew up in a small town.
Yeah.
And we got to go into the city and we got to go to the mall for lunch.
Which mall?
Scarborough Town Center, baby.
Yeah, so you came to Scarborough, so
S2C?
you went to the synagogue
Yeah.
I went to. Yeah.
And I went to the Bourbon Street Grill.
Ooh.
Is it the Bourbon? It's probably just
It's
bourbon.
just bourbon, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
BSG. You got
Shout
that
out- shout out
BSG? Yeah,
to
you know
Bourbon
me.
Street Grill. So she is going to go to public school.
Yeah.
We both agree that we don't want her raised in the
Nope.
Catholic school the way that we were because of the experiences we just described.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
So the difference between public school and Catholic school, and of course we just did the Catholic school one. Do they have because we had religion class
Yes.
every day? What do they do in public school? Drugs? No,
That was my belief.
What's
That's
that class?
Truly what I believed. No, like Catholic school is just an additional credit that doesn't really go towards university unless you're going to a school.
But I mean in primary school, like in grade school.
Yeah, it's just an additional class that they throw in there. Everything else is the same unless like
But like that 40 minutes a day of religion. What are public school kids doing? Math again? I get a lot of DMs from people that are like, "Hey, when you talk about Alaska Rhodiola, the premier sponsor of this show,
woo!
they're like, it gets pretty unhinged. What does the company think?" And I talk to people at the company every day. They love them.
Great.
They're like, these are amazing.
And we love them. Alaska Rhodiola can increase stamina, energy, your mood.
Libido.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
That's ooh.
Decrease stress.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Uh-oh.
Good afternoon.
Good to see ya.
Is it?
And if
Yes.
I don't see you tonight, good night too.
Oh, okay.
Is that what it says in the movie? Don't mention the movie because it's a sponsored
No.
thing.
Oh, if I don't see you tomorrow.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Yeah.
And Alaska Rhodiola. That's also what he said in the movie.
And Alaska Rhodiola.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Can decrease stress. Did I mention that?
Maybe.
Tell them about the company, Kolter.
Yeah, you can increase your libido. You can improve stamina. It's a woman-owned business, family-owned business
love
based
that.
in Alaska. It's all natural. It's FDA approved. There's a couple of imitators popping up.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't like that.
often imitated, never replicated.
How could you? You couldn't do it. Use promo code PLAY15 to save 15% at checkout, PLAY 15 at akroseroot.com. Alaska Rhodiola. You're not showing the label properly. There you go. Nice. akroseroot.com, play 15.
Maybe they just shortened some of our other subjects to make room for that subject.
What? They're
Yeah,
like,
maybe we're the idiots.
you don't need to, we're doing times tables. They're like, we're just cutting it off at 6.
Yeah, we got
That's it. We're done. Number of the beast, right?
We got to pray the rosary. The
Yeah.
nun's coming.
Here's another thing. You brought up the rosary. They use that as a punishment. When you go to
Yeah.
confession, you got to go into first off, kind of a greasy setup. Hey, why don't you go into that room where there's a grown man in there? Maybe, because you don't see who else is in there.
You can see them.
And there's a red light. And the red light means there's someone's in there and they're spilling their guts. And the guy's like, well, I can't tell anybody. But you know that he's probably gossiping. And I say he because they don't let gals do it.
Right.
And then they're like, hey, you did some terrible things, or maybe not. And why don't you say like 25 Hail Marys?
It's very weird, like a spell. Like
Yeah.
if you say this 12 times
And they call
in
it
the mirror
penance.
and then turn around 3 times, then you're clean.
That's the punishment. It's supposed to be good. You should be like, oh, man, you saved the life. You get to say 25 Hail Marys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember plenty of times when the nun and priest would visit our
You
classrooms.
guys got a nun too?
Oh, yeah.
I've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
seen a nun in person.
Well, was your school close to a church?
I went to school with Peter. Was it, did we live close to a church? We couldn't walk to a church. No, it was close enough. Oh, he's getting on mic. No, whoa,
Oh,
Peter's
shout out
mic
to
debut.
Peter!
Hey.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't walking distance.
No.
You could ride your bike there if you knew how
Ride
to
your bike. That
Ride
was
your
probably
bike to
against the
church.
Bible or something. They're like, oh my God, no.
Nowadays, just call an Uber.
Yeah.
Right? Well, our church was right beside our school.
Mm.
So, like, the nuns could visit us
Anytime
whenever
they wanted
to. Exactly.
Pop
so
in.
oftentimes they'd come and interrupt a subject, and it doesn't matter. Like you could be presenting to the class your project. Sorry, Sister Magdalene is here. We have to do the rosary now, and then so we go around, do our Hail Marys.
What
or,
a harbinger of doom. Your whole gig is, and like I'm sure you do
so
good stuff.
dramatic.
You go in and you're like, all right, everybody, we're gonna stop whatever you're doing. Which, side note, if you've got to present something that day, it's your turn to go up and talk about like What do you do projects on and stuff?
Space.
Sure. You're like, oh man, I got assigned a planet and I didn't really look up what Saturn's all about. And it's got a ring. It's kind of it. And you're nervous to go up, but then Sister Magdalene comes
Her
in.
name changed.
And what did you say?
Magdalene.
Same thing. And you're like, oh, thank God, right?
Right,
But if
right,
you're
right,
anybody else, you're like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
She goes, what? And you're like, it's awesome. You didn't let me finish.
But that was often so difficult for me because it was around the 5th grade that I was kind of forced.
Started having your moon.
Yes, but but was kind of forced to get baptized in the Pentecostal or apostolic at the time.
The cult one.
I've been a part of many, many churches. One
Right.
was definitely a cult, and they wanted us to move. My mom to move out of the house or move out of the apartment with my sister and I, and leave the other sister at home because she didn't have any hope, and we were supposed to lose contact with her. Another church, the one I'm referring to, we weren't allowed to wear pants. As a woman, I wasn't allowed to wear pants. Cut my hair, open toe shoes, makeup, listen to secular music. And it was around that time that my mom told me, you need to get baptized this Sunday. You're doing it. Shut up and do it. And so
Ripping
I was
off the Band-Aid.
very, very, very confused because I'm going to Catholic school 5 days a week. And then on Sunday, I'm in the apostolic church and I was just hearing a lot of different things. And so that's largely like why I want to leave Nia the opportunity to like, I'll share with her.
To wear shorts.
Like truly, like I'm allowed to go to gym class, but then I got to switch immediately to my skirt because God
Yeah.
sees me again. Like I don't get it. So making sure that she has the opportunity to like see everything, know what the different options are, and come to her conclusions about her faith and her spirituality.
Maybe she's like, I'm sleeping in on Sundays, bro. Not
Maybe
happening.
she is.
You know?
Maybe she is.
Do you foresee yourself going back to church regularly?
My good friend of mine, Jalissa, who is going to be working on the show very soon, she actually invited me to her new church. We went to church together.
Is it a cool
back in
church?
High school. Apparently, a lot of the people who went to my church back in high school have now transitioned to this church. I don't know how to take that. If that means it's similar to what we grew up with,
Yeah.
or if that means it's more modern, I don't know.
She having fun at church? She having a good time?
She seems to like it.
Yeah? What do they
She seems
do?
to like it. I haven't asked that much. What my biggest question was, do you need to hide areas of yourself? Like, how do they accept sexuality and you as a whole person?
Right.
And she said, I have not gotten that deep yet. And so,
Because if the church is like, hey, you like some gay stuff once in a while? They're like, nope.
well, I'm not
You,
even suggesting that about her. I just mean, like, if she hasn't made a lot of friends, doesn't know if, like, there are people in the church who are gay potentially, for example.
Right.
So she doesn't know if they do or do not accept you as a whole person. And so that's information I need to know up front.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe that's on their website. These cool churches, though, they've got like pyrotechnics, and they got they got a young preacher.
This is the millennial churches.
Right.
They have strobe lights and the whole nine.
And the preacher sometimes, or like the guy, because can't let a gal do that, oftentimes ends up having an affair. And then this is my favorite part, where I'm not saying this is the case with that church, where the wife has to sit behind the husband or sit beside the husband and just like silently look into the camera while the husband apologizes. That's cool church, baby. That's also boring church. That happens too, but they don't know how to work a camera. So,
But all in all, what do you want to say about how we balance life coming from different spiritual backgrounds?
it's far less of an issue than I thought it would be when we first started dating.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, we went to your church and they said the song and birthday singer, whatever. And that was awkward. And then like, I mean, you know, I'll go to church if it's like a wedding, right?
Okay, so if it's not a service at all.
I think it's a service. They do communion and stuff.
Okay, you're talking Catholic church.
Yeah, when
okay.
Dan Chen got married, he had a Catholic wedding.
Yeah, they did communion, they did offering, didn't they?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Save that for
What?
the cash part. No, I'm just, you know, what I'm trying to get at is
Yeah.
like, I don't really think it impacts our day-to-day life. I don't really think about it at all. But I think well, let me ask you, do you think about it every day?
Do I think about Jesus every day? Absolutely.
Do you think about Jesus and in the context of like our different spiritual practices, perhaps?
In my unlearning of a lot of the religious trauma that I've experienced in my life, I focus on not judging.
Okay.
Because that's largely what I learned from church, to cast judgment and to believe that I have the rights, the capability to damn people to hell. And I just don't.
That's the part I like. That's the part I'm like, you still get to do that. I don't know. See if Jalissa's church is accepting a new member.
And so I've been asked the question, are you still a practicing Christian? Christian as in, yes, I believe that Jesus is Lord. Yes. Do I believe that that is the objective truth, that if someone prays to Allah, if someone is Jewish, for example, if someone is Buddhist, that they are not going to have whatever happiness comes in the afterlife? No. I just don't think that Christians have the objective answer. And I know that a lot of things in the Bible were changed. I'm just open. That's it. And I'm just more so focused on spreading joy, obtaining joy.
Yeah.
And so I'm practicing in that I love God. I want to learn more about what that means for me and for my family. Yeah. But do I want to push that onto my child the same way that it was pushed on me?
No.
No.
But like push anything onto your child.
Exactly.
Right? You teach them to be kind, respectful. And also, like all these holy books, they were written so long ago, except the Book of Mormon. That was written like in the 1800s. But most of these things, like they're just written a long time ago. They didn't have like, stuff. They didn't have Twizzlers or science.
Twizzlers is your example. Okay.
But listen, when it comes to licorice, give me a nib.
Yeah.
I got to be very careful. N-I-B as in boy, nib. I love nibs. The little tiny ones. I'm not trying to do a bit. I just realized halfway through, I'm like, I need to specify because it's a very woke podcast. So
yes, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Should we get into Pillow Talk?
I'd love that. That'd be lovely.
Okay. Do you want to explain what Pillow Talk is?
Pillow Talk is the part of the show where we get a little more intimate and we start talking about some mummy-daddy stuff, or some mummy-mummy stuff, or some daddy-daddy stuff, or some mummy-mummy-daddy, or some daddy-daddy-mummy stuff, or some daddy-daddy-daddy-daddy-daddy-daddy-mummy stuff. And it's called the Devil's Gangbang. And
oh my gosh.
Speaking of spirituality, a Devil's Gangbang. Great name for an episode, by the way.
Okay.
Devil's Gangbang. Do you have a Pillow Talk question for this
do.
week? Amazing. Love that. Let's hear it.
Okay, so usually the question has to do with the overall theme. This week was really hard to ask an intimate question that had to do with religion. So we're going to switch it up a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and ask you, what's your favorite time of day for us to have sex?
Any time of the day. Any time of the day.
Do you prefer day or night, morning or evening?
I like nighttime.
Why?
Well, because you might have a couple of drinks in you. Might try some new stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Like you might be like, oh, I'll give that a shot.
Okay.
No.
So more willing when I
Not more willing to have sex. That makes me sound like a total perv.
Yes, it does.
No, like I'm not saying like drunk. I just mean, we've like gone out, for instance, and you're like, well, yeah.
I'm a little more loosened up.
But like not from alcohol. I want to make that.
I'm just a bit more fun. I've been social. I've been
like we
I'm
went
not
out.
stressed.
You saw me in like a nice outfit, right? And you're like, oh man, need that inside of me.
Yeah.
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 All right.
What about you?
Morning.
Yeah, I know. And hey, listen, I'll take it. I will absolutely take it.
I haven't had the stress of the day to tap in my mood yet.
Yeah.
So I like to tick things off my to-do list. So like getting that done first thing, it's like, oh yeah, I can conquer the day. I can go tick some other stuff off now.
Problem though, and this happened last week.
Absolutely.
Our daughter wakes up.
Yes.
And you're like, really need to get a lock on that door.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that for a while. Talking about getting a lock on the door for a while.
You installed that doorknob. So
I did.
You can.
But it was several years ago when she was a baby.
Yeah.
And couldn't get out of her crib because she was a little potato.
Right. But now she opens the door.
She's an anthropomorphic potato now. Arms and legs. So.
Okay, amazing. We do have a mailbox question.
We have several mailbox questions.
We're going to have Kyle play our audio first.
Oh, okay.
You want to read yours? I didn't know you had several.
Oh, I put out a call for these last night, and I have... We don't even necessarily need to answer. Like, I'll just read you one that I got.
Okay.
That I was like, oh my.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
I'm scared.
This is from Romance by Miyoshi. who's a personal coach, a relationship enhancement specialist, and a certified sex coach.
Oh,
Yeah. And black.
I love. Oh, can we get them on the show?
This person asks, have you ever done scat play? Would you ever? All one sentence, 3 question marks.
I don't know what that is.
It's poop. And the answer's good
What?
God, no. The answer's 3 words. Good God, no.
I don't want this person on the show anymore.
Side note, corn or no corn? Is that people in the community?
What?
Is that like a question they have to ask? Like there's people in the corn camp?
Oh
and
boy! Like when was your last?
You can tell. That's how you know how quickly the digestive system works. You do a quick corn trace. So I don't want to answer that. Well, I did. I actually definitively want to answer that. Go on the record.
No is my answer.
Yeah,
No.
not happening.
Thank you for your question. We're gonna let Kyle do his thing now.
Still
We
want
don't
them on
want
the
any more. Kyle, please.
After hearing about scat play, I think we're ready to wrap it up.
Also,
Yeah, like.
isn't scatting like? So yeah, I'm into that kind of stuff.
What happens if you do both of them at the same time? Scat
Oh
and
no!
Kyle, run the
Okay,
audio,
let's
please.
run the audio.
Hold on. Here we go. You ready, Kyle?
Yeah,
Let's
one
do
sec.
this.
Hey, Kolter and Dominique. I have a question. How did you guys keep it spicy while you were trying to conceive? And, like, what is the general consensus of how couples can do this themselves? Thank you so much. Love your podcast.
Oh. Thank you for the question.
You needed it.
I'm gonna be so for real with this answer.
Yeah.
We decided in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we can start having a kid. We can start trying for a kid soon. And it was May or June.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're like, yeah, we were gonna go on vacation to Grenada that July or August. And we're like, yeah, after Grenada, when we get back, like in December, we'll start trying. And we're like, oh my goodness, how adults of us. We're such adults.
We're like 27 at the time.
We've made such a mature decision.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate.
We're gonna curse somebody else to endure this world alongside us.
We were just so proud of ourselves for making such
Yeah.
an adult decision.
Big.
So we're like, let's celebrate.
Mhm.
The next week.
Here's the thing.
That celebration was a little too fun.
As a couple of Catholics,
I'm
we
not Catholic.
started using the rhythm method, and
Oh my God.
that's where you spray and pray that you don't get pregnant. And you did the first time.
The first time.
What?
But okay, listen, we're not promoting not using contraception. The only reason I was not on
Use contraception.
Absolutely. The
Too
only
many
reason
people are having kids.
I
Too
was
many of y'all.
not is because I have PCOS. I've been on birth control for
Ever?
a very, very long time. It was messing up my hormones. There was a lot of issues. So I was finally ready to no longer be on the pill. Condoms, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, and I was
You hate 'em.
married, and I hate them. And so we were spraying and praying, and at that point we said, let's celebrate. We made a decision. The next week, the pregnancy test said.
Well, no, it wasn't quite that quick.
No, I knew.
But you can't take a pregnancy test after a week.
I knew when I was pregnant.
I don't think you
And
did.
I remember I told you, can you buy me a pregnancy test, please? And you're like, you're not pregnant. So we let another couple of weeks pass.
Yeah.
And then finally I went and I bought it myself, and it said pregnant.
Yeah, super pregnant.
I said 3+ weeks.
You a Boston cream donut? Look at you.
Ugh.
Yeah. I like sucking the cream out of the
Everyone
hole.
just cringed.
What? It's a
Ugh.
beloved donut. And it's chocolate.
Oh. So
Yeah.
to answer your question about keeping it spicy during conception, unfortunately that wasn't our experience. Like we weren't actively trying to conceive.
I
at the time.
misunderstood this. I thought they meant during pregnancy. Because, like, I had no problem getting laid during pregnancy. And when I was sick with cancer. Those 2 periods, I've, like, the most amount of sex.
Yeah.
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 Because both times you're like, this could be the last time, right?
That was not my approach.
We
No.
got a
Not my
kid coming soon,
approach.
and like, that's going to end, right?
But I'm pretty sure her question was about like keeping it spicy while trying to conceive. Is that correct?
So no, the question was more regards to how do you, as a couple, keep it spicy when you're trying to conceive a child, not like when you're actually pregnant and what do we do to still spice up the sex life?
Because you're dropping unwrapped nuts like every day. What? That's the dream. No?
For you.
It's not the dream if you're trying to conceive. Did you say for you?
Yes.
What's happening?
Who doesn't want to have an unwrapped nut? Come on.
It's like trying to get pregnant can be incredibly stressful.
I'm like blushing right now. I'm like, oh, I could like use some of that right now. Be kind of
my
nice.
God.
Yeah.
It can be incredibly stressful. Like it can get to a point where like your
The pressure.
timing, like your pressure, like you're looking at the calendar, understand like is she ovulating right now? Like it can be hard.
I know.
To
I know when you're ovulating.
You know.
I
You know.
Because all of a sudden you're like, it's okay. I'll pick up your shoes for you, Colt. Don't worry about it. I got you, baby.
And then the next week,
You want me to pick up something for dinner? I go, I'll pick up something for dinner, you know?
then
And
next
you're
week.
stuttering like that too, because you're just like, look at this guy. And the way you look at me, you're just like,
That's
you're like,
my look.
You're like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. You're like,
Ew.
you got that Kubrick stare.
And then the next week, that same shoe I had to pick up, it's coming for your head top.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, we can't share our experience with that because we were not trying when we did get pregnant.
We were not. It happened. Listen, it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, sure. Like we'll try it for like later. It's in several months, you know?
Yeah.
You can think of an excuse to back out of it. And then you say my religion, you know, precludes me from mixing races or whatever. So
But I would say that like I do know that when you feel safe, when your mind and your body both feel safe, that was my experience at least. That's when I was able to get pregnant, for example. So it's much easier said than done. Trying to make sure that you're not under stress, trying to let sex be just that, about sex and not necessarily with an end, like sex as a means to, right? So if you need to pull up, you know,
pull up or pull out.
not pull out because
Yeah.
hello, but like if you need to pull up one of your old, I don't know, Cosmos, am I dating myself here? Like pull up, you know,
A magazine?
Kama Sutra, like find fun ways.
Go to
just make
xvideos.com.
it- Right? Just find fun ways to make it about the two of y'all and the two of y'all exploring each other and exploring the journey. And then when you truly feel safe and ready and your body's ready and your mind is ready, hopefully science will do what it needs to do.
Out of curiosity, though,
Yeah.
speaking of like adult websites, what's the first one? What's your go-to? The Hub?
The Hub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Hub.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like the sleekest. Automatic dark mode. You go to X videos, you're like, oh God, blinded. Ugh.
Or you porn. It's very bright, very pink. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Give me like a XNXX. How
Okay,
do you?
now we're
how
just
do you?
naming too many of them.
Is it XXNX? XNXX.
Don't look it up, Kyle.
We're gonna go
It's
with
Dominique's
Kolter.
computer you're using. You can look it up.
Do not look it up, Kyle.
Look it
I'm
up.
gonna go with porn connoisseur over here.
Yeah.
Is that a website?
Though he's calling
I'm not
you the
looking- this is
connoisseur.
Dom's, and I ain't looking it up on my phone. I don't go to that site.
Speaking of condoms, that phone should have a condom on it. All the stuff I'm sure this guy's searching up over there.
You don't even want to know.
I
Don't
do
get me
wanna know.
started.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
well, we'll talk
leave
about it
y'all
after.
to wrap this up. But thank you so much for watching. This has been an incredible episode.
If you want to follow us, we now have Pornhub accounts. We're commenting on videos.
We're commenting on videos. That's a new level.
You see comments.
Of course there are comments.
You're
but,
like, oh, you're
who's
like
really sitting there like,
addicted.
yeah.
You're addicted. That's a porn addiction.
Rating.
Yeah.
The
I preferred her earlier work.
yeah, storyline fell off around the
Yeah.
12-minute time
Yeah.
code. Yeah.
What? Oh, you're a contractor and you don't accept credit? Come on.
Was not believable.
Yeah, let's follow this woman. Let's do that.
Thank you.
At dom.creates on Instagram, at domcreatesno. On TikTok, you can find me at Kolter Talks across all socials. And you can send us some stuff right here.
Right here. Over here.
Right here.
Our P.O. Box information. We upload every Monday. Check us out again next week or go watch an older video to catch up.
Yeah, and the Gideons, we want you to send a Bible.
Gosh.
That's what I want. And I'm going to hollow it out and use it to store stuff.
Oh, my God.
Like,
Don't say porn.
I wasn't. What?
Okay.
How
Thanks
would
for
you
watching.
how would you store porn in it though?
Thanks
like
for
a
watching.
DVD?
Thanks for watching.
We love you. Bye.